So, first of all, good morning, everybody. It's great to see many familiar faces. And as we get on in the years, it'll be great to add more and more as we move along. Before we get into specifically talking about AI, because you have to have every talk about AI nowadays, I do want to refresh a little bit about the OpenSSF, the foundation, the mission, and what we're really trying to do. We always have our mission and vision statements, which we can read through at will, but it really comes down to we're here to help secure open source, right? It's a mission we all believe in. It's something we're working, whether you're an academic, enterprise, individual developer. That's what we're here for. It's what our mission is and what we're about. So it brings me a lot of joy when I'm around our crew and we can just push this a little bit forward and moving onward. We've organized ourselves into 4 things we do inside the foundation, just as a reminder. First of all, which many of you are involved in today, is we do programs and projects, right? So that's the core of kind of what it is in the open source world. Your project, what you're doing day to day, it means a lot and it adds a lot of value. But we also believe in community. That's why we're all here today, right? And it's a mission we share with all of our peers. And we like to spread the word. And I think this is a big differentiator for the foundation here and what you're part of compared to a lot of other groups. It's not just about getting the work done, it's about doing it within the community and being part of it. We also believe in education. We don't do holistic security education because that's not our job and we don't think we could cover it properly. But there are specific things we think we should really drill down into. In the past year, it was CRA. This year, we're spending a lot more time on AI, and you'll see very targeted coursework, very targeted interactions, and also we'd like to broaden our relationship with the academic community. So we're starting to work on that and broadening our relationships, and you'll continue to see that over the next couple of years. So education is a critical part of us. And then finally, not everybody knows this, but we spend a lot of time on policy. So we're currently spending a lot of time inside the CRA in Europe, and we're trying to influence how the rules are being written so that it's open source friendly and it meets the needs of our membership. And just recently with all of the AI talk, we're starting to re-engage with Washington as well, and I think we'll be seeing more coming out of the US government about AI policies and security, and we plan on being in the forefront of that and part of that discussion. So those are the 4 things we really do inside the foundation and spend time and work on. Sometimes the policy will be, the hot item. Sometimes it's a project. Sometimes it's the community. And we try to load balance all of those to what the needs are for the overall foundation and how we can move forward. But it really is 4 things. So I would be remiss, if we look back at this same exact meeting a year ago, we were knowing AI was coming up, but it was really about how quick can a foundational model get out there and what were the capabilities. And if you looked at the news, if you looked at the media, there was nothing about security a year ago. Absolutely nothing. It was Wild West. And it was just go as fast as you can, get your model out as fast as you can, and do whatever you can. I think if we all look at the last couple months, things have changed quite a bit, right? You'll have the AI foundation models are visiting the White House frequently now. There's a lot of question about what is it going to do for breaches, what is it going to do for vulnerabilities. You've heard talks about the Mythos project. We've partnered with people to help take a look at that. So just within a year, the world has changed, and security, I think, is back in the forefront of what's important. And I think it's going to be really important for this community to be at the center of it, because what's going to happen is enterprise has to do certain things, government has to do certain things, the development community has to do certain things, education has to do certain things, and there's not a whole lot of places where all those different participants can get together in one place. And I think that's what we are. We're that hub. So one of the strategies overall going forward we'll talk about for the foundation is being the central hub for all these groups to come together, share best practices, develop tools, work together in a nonpartisan way and a safe way so that everybody can get together and do the best we can. So you'll hear that as a theme in terms of the work that we're doing and where we're going as we move forward. So the question is, what have we been doing and where have we started? So I would say we're just starting to get into the world right now, and I think if you look even outside the foundation, if you look at other foundations, if you look at the government, you look at enterprises, everybody's scrambling right now to figure out how do we move forward? How do we actually do something? There's a lot of the models coming out now that are finding things, but they're not fixing things. So I think you're going to see a theme of moving from just finding vulnerabilities to looking forward and fixing it. So we've started our work here, and as you can see, we have multiple programs and projects going on. With the most recent one, we just published an ebook on security and where things are going. And we'll continue to move forward in the AI space. I think you'll be hearing a bunch of announcements over the next couple months of us partnering with different groups, us becoming more of that hub and central area. So it's something to keep your eye open. And if you personally know of a good connection for the foundation to help out with or to work with, let us know, because I do think it's our mission to bring people together and to start securing this space. So what are our priorities as we continue moving forward? So everything is based on the 4 pillars we've talked about, but we're going to continue to work on supply chain. We're going to continue to develop educational resources. We're trying very hard to figure out models for sustainable funding. You've seen some of the open letters that have been published on the OpenSSF sites and media, where we're looking at package delivery and how do we do more things more sustainably. Because one of the quotes we've all said before is infrastructure isn't free. So it's got to get paid one way or another. So we're working very close. We're going to continue our work on the CRA. It's going to be really going into prime time Q3 of this year. I think with the AI world, it's been softened a little bit, but I think everybody, especially in the enterprise world and in the developer world, is, wow, there's some really serious stuff coming our way when the CRA starts going into effect and kicks in. I know we'll have some talks today about that. And we also feel the vulnerability database and working with that is a priority for the open source world, of getting better vulnerabilities inside the database, and also getting more that are legitimate and areas where we can work together on. So you'll see work from the foundation in that space as well. So I think we have a very exciting 2026. Our governing board has laid out a set of priorities that we're starting to work in detail about what does that mean for work in the next step for the next year. And we're working on funding those right now, and then we'll get those moving in a more actionable format very soon. So looking forward to that, and it's very exciting. I do want to show some of the big wins we've had, because we're always doing things and we don't always publicize them well. I want to, Eddie and Ben on the Security Slam, we had a really exciting rollout of that. The ebook, as I just mentioned, thanks Emily, Madison, Michael, Sarah, doing awesome job as always. The CRA work and readiness is getting close, and then our mentorship program I think really went well. And then as Stacy pointed out, ambassadors are launched, good to go and moving forward. So and then Georg, thanks for the Python work as well. So I just want to give a round of applause for all those work that's going on so far. So good start of the year. Also, showing pictures. So as we get some of these wins and as we move forward, we do have some other things that are coming up that we're going to be talking about. I think we've talked a lot about CRA. You'll see that in all of our talks, all of our movement going forward. And also you'll see more work going into baseline, more work with CRA, more work with AI going into the baseline and becoming a more common tool. So with that, that's a little bit of a look into the future of where we're going and what we're trying to do. We are wholly committed to securing the space, wholly committed to working with the community to make it a better place for everybody to work together and to move forward. So with that, I'm looking forward for us to have a wonderful day. Thank you very much for being here. We have some awesome speakers today, some awesome presentations. So let's really enjoy it and enjoy the community that we have together. So thank you.